Welcome. Come on in. This is Molly Reardon. And today, YouTube informed me that I have 250,000 eyes on my YouTube. So, what does that mean? That means that I have a responsibility, a huge responsibility. So, I thought, well, how can I contribute? What can I do? And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've seen other YouTubers with a button on their big videos to contribute to feeding America. So although I am grateful and really happy and excited that 250,000 eyes are on my platform, I need you guys, I'm calling all angels to subscribe. Because YouTube told me that if I get 10,000 subscribers, I can add that button to my YouTube and help feed America. And that's what I'd like to do. Now, when I was a child, I lived in Massachusetts in a really nice area until I was about 11. We lived in really nice homes in really nice areas, and then my parents split up and we moved to Brockton, Mass. And my bike got stolen, my house got robbed, they stole my jacket out of my locker at school. And I used to babysit for the kids in the neighborhood. And I got to see another side of life. I went to these toddlers' house and they didn't have clothes. They were wearing diapers. There was no food in the fridge. So I took them home. And my mother was like, "Are you even getting paid?" And I said, "Ma, it's just toast and eggs." And I fed them. And sometimes the mother didn't pay me, but I didn't say anything. And eventually she did. And she paid me with her welfare. And that was my summer job, one of my summer jobs that I had when I was 15. And it showed me another side of America, that there are children that are hungry. And that's not okay, because kids can't go out and get a job and make a living for themselves. Adults can. And this is a great country. I love my country. If you do things a certain way, we have great freedoms here to do things. And I know that there's work to do too. I realize that, but I'm not going to concentrate on that. I'm calling all angels, all of you. I appreciate you. I'm so happy and grateful that you do put your eyes on my YouTube. But I realize that when YouTube told me that, it makes me responsible to think about, how do I want to use this platform if so many people are looking at it? And that's when I decided to ask, to call all you angels to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You just press that little subscriber button, and if I get 10,000 subscribers, I can put that Feeding America button on my video with right now 87,000 views and contribute and be of service to America. Do I personally know what it's like to be hungry? I have had that experience. I don't really talk about it because there's a lot of people in America that are having that experience and they don't want people to know it. Who wants anybody to know when you're struggling? Nobody wants anyone to know that. So this is a great program. In COVID, a lot of people that had everything lost everything and were standing in line in soup kitchens. A lot of people that have had everything became homeless. The largest part of the homeless population right now is the elderly. And that should not be happening in this great country of ours. There's a lot of elderly people living in their cars in church parking lots and elsewhere, driving around all day. So it's a quiet hunger that's happening. And the vulnerable people in this population are the elderly and children. And I just turned 60 this year, so I'm having, an understanding. I don't consider myself elderly till 65, but I have compassion. I have compassion for the vulnerable people. And I think as a nation, we have a responsibility to the vulnerable population. So let's take a moment, excuse me, and be conscious and aware that there may be people living next door to us. We're all so busy. Life is moving so fast that most of us are glued to our phones and don't even talk to our neighbors. It's just the nature of the culture. Some of us don't even know who our neighbors are. And that's not how it used to be. That's not how it used to be. As a nation, before people knew who their neighbors were, they worked as a community. And they came together to farm or to work together in different areas. But most people were aware because they gathered every Sunday, wherever they gathered, some at churches. But now people are slipping through the cracks. And I've met some homeless people that were very well dressed, and you would never know. They looked better than I did. Hair was done, everything was on point, but they were going to the gym to shower. They were hungry, and they were working. So this is something that we don't talk about a lot, but this is our great country. And I think it's time to take care of our neighbors. So please subscribe. Like I said, it doesn't cost anything. I remember talking to my sister about it, and she said, does it cost anything to subscribe? And I was like, no, you just press that little button. And as soon as I get 10,000, I can put that Feeding America button on one of my videos that's getting the most views. And when people go to it, that will be a place where they can donate to Feeding America. Because with great rewards comes great responsibility. And I think that YouTube has given me a great reward, a place where 250,000 eyes are on what I'm doing. And so I need to be mindful of, how do I give back? So this is a way that I thought of giving back. And has there ever been a time in your own life where you were struggling on the quiet and you didn't tell anybody about it? And how did that feel? And would you like to help other people so they don't have to feel that way? And if you don't, that's okay. That's cool. I won't love you any less. But if you'd like to be a part of this, I would love to have you join in and make this world a better place. And, let the professionals handle it. Feeding America has a way to do this, to bring it to the people that need it. And Tony Robbins is a great example because he's worth $7 billion. He donates all the proceeds of his books to Feeding America because he was hungry as a child. And strangers came to his door and donated Thanksgiving dinner. And he learned that strangers care. And I had points in my life where I was at a low, and I also learned that strangers do care. They tell you don't talk to strangers. I'll tell you, I have a lot of strangers in my life that became family. To this day, they tell me, you are our family. I got a phone call one day from one of these strangers that became friends in Beverly Hills. She said, I'm going to be away. My place is empty. Come stay there for a month. Visit your son in California. She filled up the fridge. I was able to see my son for the first time in 5 years. Because I lived on the East Coast. He lived on the West Coast. And so I got the money together for the plane, and I had a place to stay for an entire month. So let's do this. Subscribe today. Let's feed America.